Hi, shalom. This video contains mentions of cyberstalking and coercive behavior. Viewer discretion is advised. I am going to start telling my culty stories as the memories come up, especially if telling the story is going to help me heal or help my loved ones understand what I went through. I just finished Amy Duggar King's memoir, Holy Disruptor. She is the first cousin to the Duggar children and has her own story to tell. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to do a whole video on that book specifically, but there was a lot that I related to. And she also gave some really good descriptors for some of the tactics that cults often use. And as soon as she explained triangulation, I knew I needed to tell you all the Girl Scout cookie story. So people who know me in real life know that after I got out of the cult, phone calls and texts and emails about emotionally charged topics give me a much higher level of anxiety now than before my cultiverse years. A big reason for that was triangulation, or pulling other people into a situation that doesn't directly involve them with the intent of inflicting mental duress on their target. This absolutely fits the criteria of cyberbullying slash cyberstalking. So I think this happened in mid to late 2013. One of the local libraries was in a big building that also had a coffee shop, and I was there on a Saturday, as I often was, and there was a troop of Girl Scouts selling cookies. For anyone who doesn't know, Fundy Freaks hate the Girl Scouts. They represent everything they're against: feminism, empowering girls, all the things they can't stand. I don't remember if I bought cookies or just talked to the girls, um, but a few hours later, a fellow cult member texted me a photo. The photo was of me talking to the Girl Scouts. I had no idea this person was at the coffee shop while I was there. She was obviously not wanting me to know she was there taking pictures. I'll call this woman Sally. I think she was in her mid 50s or so. Now, Sally was not someone I considered a friend. I never liked her, never trusted her. I friended her on Facebook only because I got tired of her and everyone else demanding that I do so. And she regularly sent me antagonizing messages on Facebook about the kind of things I was posting. I did not like her. I did not want her in my life. And the more I pushed back on all the culty bullshit, the more she hated me. So Sally texted this photo to a bunch of other cult members as well as some elders. And then I started getting all kinds of emails, messages, voicemails, texts, etc. And amongst all these messages were screenshots of my bookshelves that friends had taken while they were in my home if my back was turned, and they would send these to the elders and whoever else. And it's so weird to look back on it now. It sounds like I'm talking about grade school bullying, but as said, Sally was in her 50s and I was harassed by people of all ages during this debacle. I actually stopped going to that library because of it. This part of that town was kind of dominated by the presence of this group, and I was always running into other members when I was out and about. And after this whole debacle, I realized that this was probably their whole intent in hanging out in public spaces and I couldn't have been the only person they were doing this to. And for a long while, I couldn't go to any library or coffee shop because I would just get panic attacks. Hi, sorry, it cut off, had some technical difficulties. So for people who know me in real life, this is why I hate emotionally charged conversations and unplanned phone calls and doorbells, especially when I am in pain and can barely talk and think. It triggers my cyberstalking trauma and makes me feel extremely unsafe. And I didn't have the words for any of this before, or I would have talked about this a lot sooner. All right, that is a wrap on this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back soon. All right, bye guys.
If you enjoyed this video, please do me a huge favor and hit the thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon. Like you try. Bye.